What's up, you guys? It's Yasmin here, your favorite girl. I know it's been a long time since my last video right on YouTube, but I decided to take a break from YouTube, and actually because I started to notice that the things that I was saying in my videos were things that I was I was trying to give advice, but at the same time, I didn't apply those things in my life. So I was like, I'm just going to take a moment and be like, okay, wait, yes. First of all, you gotta apply these things in your life, and then you're going to give advice. So it's been almost 2 months. I don't remember. I also because I've been super focused on school. I have to get my degree this year, inshallah. So yes, I've been super, yeah, super. How did you say that? Super occupied. Anyways, so yeah, today, guys, I wanted to. Yesterday, I went to the movies. For the people who don't know it, I want to be an actress and a singer. I was like watching the movie and I was like, I seriously could see myself on screen. But I was like, when is this going to happen? Actually, these past months, you guys, I didn't, I didn't, at the same time, I wasn't publishing, but at the same time, I was studying, and I wasn't publishing also because, I was struggling also mentally. So I needed to take a break from like social media just in general. Because you know why I was struggling mentally? Because I want to achieve my dreams so badly, but I don't know from where to start. So this is a topic, a very tough topic. And I know that you may have clicked on this video also because you're struggling as well. Like, you see other people living your dream, and you're like, how am I going to achieve that dream? And you get jealous also. I was actually watching Snow White, and I got jealous of Rachel because I was like, girl, this girl's living my dream, And I was like, I wanna act so badly, I wanna sing so badly, like, from where do I start, And it's like, those times when you just feel it. It's a feeling. You gotta realize, I was also watching this video on YouTube that was saying that real passions come when you're a child. Like, real passions, true passions, come when you're a child. Like, I never get tired of acting or singing because this is generally what I love to do. Generally what I love to do, also dancing, being on stage, acting, pretending, also on movies, whatever. This is generally what I love to do because this was what I've always loved since I was a child. So you gotta realize that if you still don't know what you love, you gotta focus on the things that you used to love, you used to do when you were a kid, and that you never get tired of. So yeah, I was watching this movie and I was like, damn, but I want to do that so badly. Like, from where do I start? I don't know, because it seems like, every single time that I'm like, okay, but let's actually let's look for something. Let's look for castings. Let's look for things, whatever. I can never accept it, I never get accepted. I never get accepted. I get never accepted. You know? I just put my pictures, pictures for castings, and which you have to act first of all, I'm here in Italy, okay? I want to act in English movies, in American movies, because I act in English. I don't like acting in Italian. And I live here in Italy, but I would never, make an Italian film. I would never act in an Italian movie because I don't like acting in Italian. I love to act in English because I've always watched American movies that were, I don't know how you say, the voice that was put over these movies was an Italian voice. But, of course, every single movie that I used to watch since childhood was coming from the U.S. or, England, whatever. So like the original language was in English, and then when I started to study languages, I was like, okay, I'm just going to go for the movie with the original language. And I was like, okay, but I love to act in English. I studied, I had acting classes last year when I was 17 years old. Of course, they were Italian people, like, that were trying to make, give classes, whatever. And I was like, okay, but I would like to act in English. So they were like, but why are you here though? And I was like, because I live here. I have no money to like go to the US and start a career, but I love acting. And they were like, okay, but like, acting is all the same. You just like, and I was like, no, but I don't want to act in Italian. I want to act in English, So I did like, this short film. I acted in this short film in English, and I was like basically the only one that did that in the whole school, because every single person that was in the school at the same time was like, they did Italian short films, of course, because we are here in Italy. But I just want to say that if you're like struggling like me, first of all, because you want to realize a career, you want to have a career, but at the same time, you're like, dang it, I'm here in Italy. I'm here in a country that cannot provide these things for me. You can try whatever you want. I tried to like, have castings, whatever, in which English was requested, like, because, maybe they asked for a person that talks in English that could be useful to the short film, to the movie, whatever. I always try to do that, but I was studying, or I was like, they never called me back. And I was like, okay, but why? Like, why do I, like, when I fantasize about my career, I can already see myself there, having a conversation with Jimmy Fallon at the Jimmy Fallon Tonight Show. But I was like, okay, yes, you love to do these things, but how come that you don't do anything to achieve them? But when the moment comes, when I try to like focus on that thing and be like, okay, let me try to look for something. Let me just like, I'm here in Italy, so I'm just going to start from Italy. Let me look for something. They never call me back. And I'm like, but why? How is that? Like, I try, but I never get called back. Why? Why are these things? And I just like, I can't, I just want to say that, maybe these things are not happening because you deserve more. Like, you deserve better. You deserve what your fantasy is giving you. Like, when I imagine myself doing big things, is because I deserve those big things. It's not because I deserve that little, like, commercial, whatever. But my mom always says to me, you got to start from the small things, And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try, but then I never get called back again, because you deserve better. You deserve better. So I'm just going to say, don't just like, it's not that you don't have to do anything, because of course things don't come naturally. You just keep on, training more with your passions and stuff. But at the same time, don't settle if you feel like that thing is not for you. Like, I'm going to be honest, every single time that I read of a casting, whatever, in which, like, maybe English is requested, or Spanish, a Spanish character, like an English character is requested, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do so, but I don't feel like that's on my level, actually, because I deserve better. It's not that I'm going to settle for like small things. In fact, they never call me back. And I actually, like, heard this on a video of Liz of like 1 year ago, if I remember well, in which she was saying that she always used to pray to God for the smallest, for like, the smallest things, like, maybe work. She used to pray to him for like the smallest fees, whatever. And she used to say that she used to pray, but she never got what she wanted. Like, that's because she was desperate. And I feel like I'm desperate too when I settle for these castings or whatever. And I generally feel like inside of me, guys, if you feel like you're settling, but at the same time, you're like, okay, but I gotta do something, like, to achieve my dreams. And you try to, like, start from the small things. But then inside of you, like, your deepest self, you feel like you don't that's not for you. Even though people can say whatever the shit, like the shit that they want, people could say that you gotta start from the small things, Yasmin. No one becomes a millionaire out of nowhere, like, you know, these kind of things. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna listen to you. But if you look for that casting and you're like, you feel inside of yourself deeply, you deeply feel that you're settling, you deeply feel that that is not for you. You deeply feel like that you deserve better, you deserve bigger things. Of course, you don't have to settle, girl. You just keep on training and training and training. In fact, Liz, she became a millionaire. You know, God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't give her what she wanted. He gave her better. So, like, stop settling. Do not settle. Don't listen to what other people say, because that's their perspective. Don't get influenced by other people's perspective. Get influenced by what you think about your own self. I think that I don't have to settle. If I think that I deserve only the biggest things, not the bare minimum, because I deserve that, is because I deserve that, you know? So don't just like stop pretending that you're just like anyone else, because you gotta embrace your light. Like, you know, it's much easier to just like, you know, be like everyone else and be like, okay, but we're all the same, like, you know, so that you don't so that you can dim your light. But why should you dim your light? Seriously. Like, you know, you're just settling and you're like, okay, I'm just like anyone else, even though you feel like you have something different. You have a spark in yourself, you girl. It's not that you have to wait for people to notice it. You just start from yourself. You should be the first one to notice it. And I assure you that the moment when you start to believe in yourself, everyone else will start to, because it all starts from how you perceive yourself. Let me give you an example. If you're a person that settles for the bare minimum, is a desperate person, even though you have a lot of talents, you're incredibly talented, but you don't believe in yourself. Okay, you don't believe in. For example, me. Now I'm starting to notice how valuable I am. But like 2 years ago, no. I've always had these talents, you know, singing, acting, rapping also, writing songs, dancing. I've always had, like, you know, speaking different languages with a perfect accent, whatever. But it's like, I never, like, you know, really believed in myself. If I'm about to say, like, you know, 2 years ago, right? When I was 16. I used to hate myself, okay? I used to self-sabotage myself so badly. But it's like, I seriously, like, you know, I didn't see the value of me. I didn't see my own value. I didn't see, like, you know, my sparkle. And so everyone didn't as well. The moment when I started to, like, you know, acknowledge the fact that I have these talents and stuff, and I had to, like, the moment when I started, like, to believe in myself and not to settle and stuff, people started to respect me as well. People started to be like, oh, but you're the girl who perfectly speaks languages, you know, whilst 2 years ago, I wasn't confident, you know. I was trying to settle and be like, oh, but I'm like everyone else in the school that speaks languages. No, girl, you have a perfect accent. Why should you, like, you know, hide it? I don't see it. I don't see the point of, like, dimming your light. Same thing. The thing that I was saying before, like, you know, the casting. If I'm a girl that does not believe in her acting skills, I am going to settle. I am going to settle and be like, okay, I'm going to do this commercial. Even if they pay me like 30 euros, I don't care. I just, like, you know, want to have an experience. Right, you can have an experience, but just the fact that you're settling for the smallest commercial, if you know that you have a lot of skills, if you know that you have way more skills, way more acting skills, but you're still settling for the smallest things, you know? And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to do this commercial for like 30 euros. And then the casting director doesn't even call you back. She doesn't even, like, you know, call you back, because she's like, oh, but she came to this commercial. She came to have casting for this commercial that pays only 30 euros. She doesn't believe in herself, so I don't believe in herself. So I don't believe in her, sorry. So I don't believe in her, because maybe, you know, in my presentation I wasn't believing in myself. So I didn't, like, you know, maybe I even did that well, but just the fact that I wasn't confident in my skills made the casting director think that I wasn't worthy of that, worthy of, like, you know, acting in that commercial. So I'm not gonna get the part, even though that part was just, like, you know, 30 euros worthy. Even if that part was just worthy of 30 euros, I'm not gonna have that commercial, because I didn't believe in myself, I didn't believe in my talents, and so the casting director didn't as well. Whilst if I'm aware of the amazing talents that I have, if I am aware of the amazing skills that I have, I'm not gonna settle for the bare minimum. I'm gonna try for the biggest things with confidence. And I assure you that you're going to get the part then, because it's like, I'm not gonna settle. And just the fact that you present yourself as a confident person, as a fucking confident person, you're going to scare the casting director, and they're gonna be like, okay, well, she's worthy. All because I had the confidence to, first of all, present myself to that casting, but also because of the confidence in which I acted during the audition. So yeah, you guys, this is all. I wanted to make this video because, you know, again, I just feel like every single time that I'm trying to focus on my passions and try to follow my mom's advice and, like, start from the small thing, like, you know, start from the small things. Yes, start from the small things. I try to do it, but I never get a call back. Why is that? Because I only deserve the best. So you guys, do not settle if you feel like you have big things inside of you. If you watch, I don't know, maybe an interview and you're like, I see myself there. Like, I see myself, for instance, during a Jimmy Fallon interview. I see myself there. But it's like, I don't feel like, you know, the smallest things can understand me. So that's why I'm just going to go for the bigger things, the biggest ones. And just, like, you know, an advice, do not listen to people who have a different perspective of you. Like, of course, you know, try to have a confrontation, whatever, but, like, if you don't feel the same things as the person that is feeling those things, that is trying to say to you, okay, but listen, you gotta start from the small things. Do not force it. Do not force yourself to think as the same as that other person, because nothing is beautiful. Nothing is authentic. What you're like when you're, like, forcing it. So just, like, stop. Believe in yourself. Don't settle for the bare minimum, and keep going, because you only deserve the very, very best. I love you guys so much, and see you in the next video, inshallah. Bye.